Well, hello everyone. Steve here for a little inclement weather walk. Alright, it is today is December 6th. Hoping you can all hear me with using the earbuds and the microphone built into the line. Can always go into what do I use? Audio. Anyway, I can adjust the volume, I think, later if it's a little too soft. So how are you all doing? Winter's really arriving, and we've had snow on the ground a couple of times, but nothing that really is sticking. And so we have a little whiteness on the grass, but nothing on the blacktop so far. So today is Tuesday, and it's about 7:30 in the evening. It is raining here. It's been raining most of the day, and I was wanting to get out and walk, so I'm just determined to do it anyway. Well, tomorrow I go and see my general practitioner to follow up with my concerns. Today in the mail I got the results of my stress test, and it comes on a CD, so I guess there's something if you have a media drive, which I don't anymore on my computers. You can see what the doctors see. But it's also interesting to read the write-up by the reviewing doctors, and something caught my attention, so I'll ask about it, and that is, it sounded like they were saying my how's that go? Extraction frac? No. Anyway, the rate or the effort, ejection fraction, there we go, the effort at which your heart squeezes. It looked like it said 42%. So I'm definitely going to ask about that, because back at the end of March, right around Easter, they were saying it was 62%. So that's not sure what the present thing is saying. So maybe it's saying something else. Oh boy, I'm going to have very wet feet at the end of this walk. I'm walking on a path, a paved path, and there are standing puddles, as you'll hear from time to time. Let's see. We were away this past weekend up in Massachusetts. My daughter was visiting a second visit to Gordon College, located in Wenham, Massachusetts, up near the coast and near the New Hampshire border. We stayed at a hotel in Danvers. The hotel looks like it was once a gem of a hotel, but has been let go. But they are now renovating, and sometime next year it's going to reopen as a Best Western Plus. Didn't know there was such a thing, but it looks like it could be an upscale hotel, but we'll just say that it's in process. The rooms were nice, so we appreciated that. The plan was we left on Thursday, and Thursday night stayed the night in this hotel. Friday night, Anna was to stay in a dorm room with some of the girls there, and when we went to meet up with the person assigned to take her in, Anna herself wasn't on the list to be taken in by anybody, so something went amiss, and a couple of girls said they would take her in, and a couple of girls said they would take in 4 girls. Oh boy, I think it's better to walk on the grass. Alright, now my feet are officially soaked. Alright, so these dorm rooms are pretty good size compared to what our son Wayne had. And but 4 girls at the floor is a bit much. And I got to the room and we met up with her later, and she said, ugh, these girls are not neat girls. And we said, well, we still have the hotel room. You don't have to stay if you don't want to. And she said, okay. So she stayed with us the second night as well. The weekend was to be an introduction to the honors program that the school offers. Anna asked me ahead of time, how many students do you think there will be there? And I said, I don't know, dozens, hundreds, thousands, I have no idea. About 250, and they accept 25. So it's pretty competitive. It was a nice weekend getting to know, and for me, the first time seeing what Anna is considering. The other college out in western New York, Houghton, we will plan a trip there in mid-February. I know, we'll see how that goes. It definitely is it. Can't get the lake effect snow there, so we'll see how that drive is. It's about a 6-hour drive, and this one was the same. I think the map said it would take 5.5 hours. Of course, with lunch breaks and potty breaks, all of that, it takes about 6.5. I was hoping to meet up with a professor that I had in college who used to teach at that school in Indiana, but now teaches at Gordon. But he was away for the weekend, so I missed him, and he was out at his mother's in Buffalo celebrating her 85th birthday. I did the same thing a couple of years ago to visit my dad on his 85th birthday. So I understand. But it was too bad I missed him. Let's see. Other updates on things. Since the last time we met, or last time I recorded, our friend Don, who fell off the ladder, passed away a week ago Sunday. Really sad. He was doing what he did very well, and that is he was serving. He was busy at the church doing work projects. It's just the kind of thing he enjoyed doing. But will be sorely missed. We missed the funeral. The funeral took place on Saturday while we were up in Massachusetts. Our small group, which he was the leader of, we're getting together on Thursday, so 2 nights from now, for a Christmas dinner. I think in the years past they usually exchange silly gifts, but we decided to forego that this year, and we think that Kathy, Don's wife, surviving wife, will be with us, so it'll be sweet to be with her. So far she seems to be handling things very well. I think, though I don't know, sometimes when somebody's been in the hospital for a while and things are taking turns for the worst, you're preparing yourself for the inevitable news that there really was no recovering. And so maybe she has done some dealing already with the expected loss so far, and I'm sure it'll come in waves, especially as the seasons progress. Yeah, she looks back and she says, we celebrated our 45th anniversary this year, and Don really wanted to make a big thing of it. I'm really glad he did. And then, Don really wanted to get this accomplished, and he did. And I'm really glad he did. So, Kathy has 2 daughters out in the Lancaster area, and we figure that at some point she will probably make a move out there to be closer to her grandchildren and children. I'm out at the soccer fields or football fields? I'm at the football fields right now. It's dark out here. There's lighting at the parking area that I parked at on 4th Street Park. But out here in the park, there are lights for some of the fields. There are football field lights, but I'm not near the football field and they're not on anyway. There is a building that looks like it acts as a snack stand, and it has a lonely light out in the middle of the field. So as I get closer to that, I'll be a little closer to light. It's not totally dark here. I mean, it's dark, but sometimes when there's cloud cover, there's a reflection of lights in the towns around that provides a little bit of lighting. Let's see. I might have mentioned before, I have been thinking about other opportunities. I feel like I'm being used where I am and content that way. But so I'm still thinking about the future and long term. I think one of the things of having had the heart attack has helped me think about, and that is dealing with stress. Now, you can't get away from all stresses, but you don't have to face every stress. And there are times when I'm stressed in my work position because there's some things, while you do your best to rise to the occasion to accomplish, they're just not in your wheelhouse. And so you think about, well, what would a job like that look like? So anyway, that's giving some thought. I'm working through a book right now. I might have mentioned this before. It's called Knowing Your Strengths. Well, that was the original book. They republished it as StrengthsFinder 2.0. And I've taken the assessment online, but I am doing something that was recommended, and that is going through each of the different strengths. So there are 34 that it identifies, and evaluating yourself. Wow, this really is something I connect with. And so I am on number 25, maybe. So I was working on those today. Been having battery issues since iOS 10 was released, and then learned over Thanksgiving there was a recall of iPhone batteries for the iPhone 6S. I think, in my opinion, leads me to think it should extend to other models too, like the 6 and maybe even before, because everybody seems to be experiencing the same thing. I think they have to get through the wave of replacing the 6S batteries before they would consider anything else. Or they just expect people to upgrade to 7, which that's not fair. So I went up to the Apple store up near Allentown and took close to 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours to get the battery replaced. And so I, without phone, boy, why does that seem so odd? But it did. It's like, oh, where's the nearest Starbucks? Oh, I can't look it up. Well, I'm right at a mall, so it was easy enough to find. Just went into the Barnes & Noble. And I picked up where I left off on StrengthsFinder to work through some of those. There was one strength name called input. And I thought, oh, this is for, must be for people who like to give input. But no, it's the opposite. It was people who like lots of input, like you like to learn, and you like to know why, you like to figure things out, you like to add to your knowledge. And then there was another one called learning. So, it all depends on the way that this book defines these characteristics as to whether you feel you identify with them. Because sometimes you say, oh, gosh, I really see elements of myself in this description, but not everything. So, so I continue to evaluate. One though I felt really strong. I think it was that inputs. Learning I thought would be something I would be a little bit more, but the way it was described, I had to back off a little bit, give myself not as strong an affinity with that. Alright, I am out by those lights. There's a car parked out here. This probably isn't the best idea, being out here in the dark all by myself in a remote place. But, hey, if you're going to do something crazy like that, doing it in the rain is probably safer because, well, what crazy person is going to be in a park in the middle of the dark in the rain? Maybe besides me. And I'm not dangerous crazy, I'm just attached. Oh, tonight, before I came here, I had something I was wanting to do while Margie was gone. Margie and Anna went to a Christmas tea at Hilltown Baptist Church. Anna was asked to play a duet, her on violin, our friend Kenneth Estep play cello. So they've played together several times. Let's see. So that's where they are tonight. Anna's was playing violin, and then she and Margie were, I think, staying for the tea. And then Anna needs to get back and probably do some homework. Well, we got back from Massachusetts on Saturday, and she had a bit of a little panicky feeling of, I have got so much work to do from here to February. And it was overwhelming to her. And it truly is overwhelming. She says, each of my teachers piles on the work as if I have no other classes. Now, she has 5 AP classes, which to me is just beyond insane and cannot comprehend. And then she's on the swim team, so she's got practice every night for 2.5 hours. So from 3 until, well, maybe 2 hours, 3 to 5. And then swim meets start on Friday. She has a meet, their traditional first, which they've been beating this team every year. The other team is not very strong, but anyway, just with a load of homework, applying for an honors program, completing essays, building up a portfolio for art and design type programs at the colleges she's looking at. It's just getting to her. And instead of picking one team captain for the girls, I think there's only 3 seniors, and somebody had the brilliant idea of making them all team captains, which Anna kind of wanted to be the team captain, but knew this other girl really wanted to be it. I'd say Anna seems to be the most responsible of the 3, and she takes it seriously. So she's put on herself the what would you say? She's put on herself to be an honorable team captain, which is entirely right. Because we had talked to her before the season, saying, "Look, you don't have to swim this year if you don't want to." I said, but I'm a senior. This is my 4th year. All my friends expect it, which we're dealing with all of those expectations that you try to meet. Just will drag you down. So he said, "I'm a team captain, and I need to be a good example, and I need to support the younger teammates. So I'm not going to skip practice. I don't want to leave early. I'm not going to skip meets unless, there's a schedule conflict. I know the Christmas concert that she has coming up in a week or so conflicts with some swim meets. There's really not much they can do about that. Okay, I think I'm at the furthest end now. I'm in the soccer field's parking area. Toes are feeling a little numb. Fingers are okay. So Anna and Margie, back to that, took off on Anna tangent. So Anna and Margie are at this tee. They wanted to get something accomplished. The Thanksgiving weekend when we were in Bethlehem, we were in a souvenir shop, and they had the Moravian stars at a decent price. So not overly big, plastic. I mean, the nice ones are kind of almost like stained glass. They have the lead glass and some, milky glass panes. But this was a nice one. And so Margie has wanted one of these for years and years and years. So we bought it. And I decided that while they were gone, I was going to put that up. So I did. And I think I need to try to find a cover plate. And then while I've got the normal lamp down, I think I need to work on cleaning that up. I could use some fresh paint. The black paint is peeled off and you see the galvanized steel underneath it. So it could use a little sprucing up. But it has a plate that covers where it comes out of the junction box. That's part of this lamp, part of the old lamp, the existing lamp. And so, I need to see if I can do something, because right now you just see the wires all nutted together. But I'm hoping that she notices it when she gets home. If I gather right, and I think I do, this weekend is the Jeff Galloway half. And there will be many extra mile friends heading out there. So sadly, no JD. But others, I hope it's a really joyous occasion just to meet and see others. That'd be really nice. Union Cemetery. Let's see, well, this wasn't my best idea, to come out into the dark. We were doing this last winter, running through the fields. It's colder. Maybe that's the year before last. Run too much this past winter. It's not after February 1st. We had such a warm December last year, right up to Christmas Eve. This year we had a pretty decent set of days right around Thanksgiving. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't stated any long lines. Did not stipulate Thanksgiving to go shopping for Black Friday deals. One thing I thought was odd was that on Friday itself, I did go out to some stores and they had cleaned up their overnight sales, and usually there's stuff left over. And they've got, like Walmart, for example. Walmart will have from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. these are on sale. 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. these are on sale, and such like that. And then in the morning, they're still doing that on Friday morning. Nothing like that was going on this year. I did a little bit of Christmas shopping successfully that day. I have some online shopping to do. I know. Yeah, the hardest person for me to shop for is Margie. I know things are going to be, we've got some big things coming up this year. We have a wedding on July 8th. And there's a very good possibility we'll have another wedding in the summer. Unknown. So, Mitch is not going to be home for Christmas. He is going to Tennessee to have Christmas with Betsy's family. I don't know if he has met everybody. She has 3 brothers, and one's out in California. Maybe 2 are in California. I think one is in the Bay Area, and one is in Huntington Beach, if I remember. I think one is still in Tennessee. Get home, it's time to pop some popcorn, warm up the feet, keep the fire going. Running into a drain. Oh no, water going under a little bridge. We're back at the baseball fields. So we started out in football, then soccer, finally baseball. And we're almost back to a dry car. It's a light rain. It's been steady, but it hasn't been heavy. Now we got a 1/4 inch of rain recently. Need to check and see if we're expecting to go below freezing, because I have not brought in the rain gauge yet. Been keeping track of the temperatures and either bringing it indoors if it's going to be freezing and there's water in it, or there's something like that. So tried to be on top of it. Last year I let it out there too long and I gained a crack. But I got some, let's see, what did I use? I used epoxy and sealed the crack, and it's been working great. Kind of looks funky with a gray line going down the side, but it keeps the water in. Carlos, I want to thank you again for helping me get some sleep at night. Just love that sound of the foot padding at a steady pace as you go and you capture the shot, or you're on the chip trails, or what have you. Oh, by the way, while we were up at the college last weekend, they had a special guest. They had a conversation with the president of the college. So we sat in and kind of observed the conversation. They set it up like a living room. And the guest was a gentleman named, Ethan? Last name is Spain. He's a colonel, and in the Marines, I believe. And he served as kind of aide to General Petraeus during the surge in Iraq. And he was talking about his experiences not in Iraq, but at the Boston Marathon in April 2013. And he was part of a team, I think 4 different runners who were assisting a blind runner in the Boston Marathon. I think the fellow's first name was Steve, but I forget. The runner's first name was Steve, but I don't remember the last name. And he was the last finisher of the Boston Marathon that year. So while they were running about 75 feet away from the first explosion, and then the second explosion about 8 seconds later behind them, and then he says, I don't know why, but I just picked up my friend and helped him across the finish line, and that was the last finish they allowed for the race. So you can see whoever the last finisher was. And this colonel then kind of went into action for assisting people who were hurt and wounded. So it was a pretty remarkable story. It choked Margie up quite a bit. So, all right, we'll made it back to the car, and I'm going to go home and take my wet things off and get the cold parts of me into a not so cold. So, all right, I will see how this sounds, and I may need to use Audacity to bring up the volume level. We'll see. But just glad to be posting something after a little bit of a break. I have been pulling back at really wanting to have this conversation with my doctor tomorrow and see she can explain see what she can explain. It may be that there's nothing to explain. It may be that for whatever reason I took a step backwards, and so I'm needing to just back up and be smart and take it easy. So if that's what I need to do, then that's indeed what I will do. I'll keep you informed. So this is Steve. Wet Tuesday night, Quakertown. And that's all I have for tonight. So you take care, and we'll listen in to you soon. Bye-bye for now.